Us as Black Africans, Black Americans, Black Caribbeans, we have so much that ties us together than just the land our ancestors come from. From the food that we eat, traditional dances, hairstyles, even down to our mannerisms. There's just no denying the similarities that we all share. So you would expect there to be some unity. And there is, but you also see stuff like this.
They don't give a about you. Like, they rarely is your friend. Like, if they get a chance, if these Africans in Atlanta get a chance to you over or talk about you behind your back and you can't understand, you best believe they will.
My name is Trudy. I'm from Africa.
Africa?
Yeah.
So we are doing here.
I came to visit Jamaica. So I wanted to ask Jamaicans what they think of Africa.
Africa, me not like African people, but they don't like African. Me don't like African people.
Why?
African people believe in a Wobia.
Believe in what?
Wobia.
What's Wobia?
You don't know Wobia? I give you Bigfoot. And then African people, when you eat susumba, then tell us say you work Wobia. Then they like people eat susumba.
What is susumba? No!
Yeah!
Just give me your black card, bro. Just give it to me.
For what?
You in a room full of white people and you the only black nigga there.
There's only one white person in the room.
They turning you to an Oreo, bro.
You my black card?
Yeah, give it to me, bro.
Yeah, you mean your food stamps, nigga? I'm a Congolese person. I'm not one of you street American black hobo bitch, bro.
What? What did he say? What?
Okay, don't get it mixed up, okay? You could have just came here, been nice, you could have a cool conversation. I'm not one of you black Americans. Moi, je suis Congolais. Je suis prince du Congo. Tu me connais pas, alright? Don't play with me, man. I'm not one of you.
Well, your boy, he was being mean to me. If that,
I just want to talk to him.
Why do you have a shotgun?
I just want to talk to him.
Dad, this is ridiculous.
I just want to talk to him. I just want to talk to him. I just want to talk to him.
It is not his fault.
I just want to shoot him. I just want to talk to him.
You can't shoot him.
Man, don't know God Jamaican know how to make no collard greens. Man, Jamaican food nasty in the motherfucker, nigga. Woo! Look at that, some jerk greens. Jamaicans don't know how to make soul food. Man, Jamaicans don't know how to make soul food.
Mom. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Call for your mama.
So as a first generation Ethiopian American and as an all my life Black woman, I think I can give a fair assessment on some of the biggest arguments from both sides. The first thing that I want to go over, just because I hear it a lot, is Africans don't like us. And this is coming from Black Americans.
I don't understand why Africans hate their own people. Like, just because we live in a different country doesn't make us any different than y'all. I mean, sure, our culture is different, but genetically, we're literally the same. And you want to know what's crazy? African people copy American culture and Black people want more of their culture. Like, really? We're literally going in separate directions, and that's what's dividing us. This stupid ignorance on both sides needs to stop. Like, it's honestly so dumb. I can't even believe I'm ranting about it on TikTok right now.
Why is it that Black American or Black Africans, they don't F with us, they don't talk to us, they keep to themselves? And I've heard Black Americans say this referring to people from the Caribbean as well. I want to address this first because I hear it so often and it's actually sad. I don't like people thinking that they're being disliked for just no reason at all or for a whack-ass reason. So let's address it. The first thing I want to say is when referring to Africans keep to themselves, they don't really talk too much to us. They call us lazy. Let me just explain to you guys how Africans move. People from the Caribbean, I say this because I grew up with so many close friends from the Caribbean. My best friend growing up was Jamaican. We share so much in common when we talk about our people. So the thing with Africans is they are very conservative, pretty much. They do keep to themselves. If you go back home, you see that they all keep to themselves, unless they know you like that, you know? That's just how we are by nature. I know I'm Ethiopian, so we're very conservative with the way that we carry ourselves. I'm telling you, like my dad, if you were to see him walking down the street, somebody could be losing their mind right here. He would just like walk around him, just mind my business. I'm just go from point A to point B. That's just how they are. It's nothing about you specifically. It's in their nature. Numero dos, calling Black Americans lazy. our parents call us lazy, okay? Africans are known to be very blunt. They don't mean it to be rude. They're the type to, you gain a little bit of weight. Like, I just gained a little bit of weight just because I took some time off from work. So I'm back to being a stay-at-home mom. And I saw a family, I'm not even gonna put them on blast, a family relative, and they're like, oh, okay, you gained some weight. You know, you can go for a walk around the block a couple of times. So, okay, all right, thank you.
Emotional, damn it!
I can't explain to you guys how many times growing up, me and my mom would be at an outing, you know, and it will be with Americans, white, black, whatever. And I'd have to explain to her afterwards, like, Mom, I don't think they're gonna call us again. I don't think we're gonna be invited back. Wait, Maddie, what happened? Well, you know, remember what you said? Yeah, you're not supposed to say that out loud. They don't mean no harm by it. They're just straight shooters. And when it comes to the whole laziness thing, a lot of it is also due to the fact that when they come to America, they're coming to a place that they're considering like a privilege to be in. And back home, they've seen real poverty. I'm not saying they all are from poverty, but they've seen it, right? They know what poverty, like a real struggle looks like. In the US, poor to us might be like middle class in most other countries. I'm just saying. They come here and they're like, a card that gives you money for food every month? And you get that? The government gives you a home? Because you're poor, you qualify? Like, this concept seems foreign to them.
Black man, if you complain in America, you're wrong because you got help. They make sure you get a basic standard of living in America. Like, I'm talking about the very, very bottom is a trailer or an apartment in the hood. That's better than Africa. The bottom there is outside, no AC, no electricity, barely no running water. That's their poor. Our poor has a flat screen, AC, free school with a bus coming to pick them up, welfare, food stamp, Medicaid. That's a lot. Benefits, and we sit here and complain and say these ain't doing enough for us. America is stupid, believe it or not. We go back to Africa and we go poor, we're poor.
So anybody that isn't taking what they have and running with it and making something of themselves, they call that lazy. Some people come from countries where it's mandatory that you sign up with the government, go to war, you live in a place that you don't want to live in. It's just, you go through stuff. It's the same thing as if you were complaining to your parents or your grandparents and you're just like, damn, grandpa, like, I got it hard. Oh, you don't know hard. Back in my day. It's one of them things, it's like a back in my day type thing. Like, my mom legit laughed at me when I told her, Mom, I got a lot going on. My life is hard.
Very funny, Tammy. Don't start laughing. I'm not. Very funny. That was the funniest I have ever heard.
She laughs so hard. I think she pissed on herself a little bit. This is when I was like in middle school. I felt like I was going through a lot, and I had a moment where I was trying to vent, and I'm like, I don't know, Mommy. I feel like my life's just going through a lot right now. It's a lot. And she's like, you're going through a lot? And she started busting out laughing. So it's nothing that they're treating you with that's any different from their own people. That's just how they are by nature. The flip side of that is the stereotypes. Because I'm not going to sit here and act like Africans don't stereotype Black Americans. And I believe the same thing about Caribbean people. Now, they can correct me if I'm wrong. But when it comes to a lot of Africans, if you're not interacting with people from different cultures on a regular, more than one occasion, you're going to base your opinion based off of whatever you're seeing in the media, right? The same thing is if like an Asian person, they might only know about Japanese, Korean people from what they see or Asian people, whatever, based off what they see in movies. If they're portrayed as the nerdy guy that's very good with computers, that's their perception of Asian people. Black Americans, how are they portrayed in the media? Like thugs, gangsters, slick talking, promiscuous. So that's what they're portraying. That's what they're perceiving as a version of truth. if that makes sense. And that's not right at all. It's never okay to generalize a group of people and say this is just how they are. Now, many know that this is just the media's version, but there are some that buy into it, believe it, and I'm sorry, it's not right.
My father, when he imitated African Americans, and he'd be like, they just be like, "Hey man, what's going on, man?" They do this, the handshake, they comb in the hair like this, walking like this. My father was funny than a. They just be coming rough like this, and that's me shaking.
The ruffians. Yeah. But why is it that you have to walk? Why you have to walk this way? That is not the proper thing to do. That is not the proper way to walk. And therefore,
I will say that all cultures do this. All cultures do this. Americans have a certain viewpoint of Africans. I was called a starving Ethiopian most of the time when I was growing up.
Hey, it looks like one of those Ethiopians. What's your name, dude? Marvin. I think he said his name is Marvin. Yeah, Starvin' Marvin. Nice to meet you, Starvin' Marvin. Hey, Mom.
Yes, hon?
We found an Ethiopian. Can we keep him?
Sure, hon.
Sweet.
Marvin, African booty scratcher. I grew up being bullied because I was from Africa. And Jamaicans too. Haitians, Dominicans. I feel like a lot of Caribbean people deal with the same stereotypes as well. So it's not okay. Especially if you've been treated poorly by an African that's, had a certain viewpoint of you. I'm sorry you went through that. It's never okay. It's never okay to generalize. I just want us to have the understanding that there are ignorance on all sides. If we can recognize it, we can understand that it's not the majority, it's the few. And you can know that's not a personal thing. It's because of ignorance.
We know we came from Africa, and sort of our attitudes and our way of life sort of esteems from the African way. I get that Africans are sort of very lazy people. They're not very aggressive. They just sort of want to live off the land and live very comfortable, which is great if you can do that, if you're in a position to be able to do that. But I have to be inspired by something when I go to Europe. I enjoy it because the people there are very fashionable, and it's just fun. I mean, all we do is work. We check in a hotel, and we go on stage, and we go to the airport. So you have to feel some kind of inspiration from a city, right? So when I go to Africa, I'm very down because the food isn't good. I don't get any really good, fantastic vibes from the people, so I'm just really bored.
It was more apparent to me when I did a video on Tiffany Haddish making that ignorant comment while she was in Zimbabwe. And she was at a store and she made some comments, and I was talking about just how ignorant it was. And a lot of Black Americans were in my comment section was just like, sorry, but we don't know too much about Africa. We just know what we've been seeing in the media. And you know what I said to them? I don't even disagree with you, buddy. Another thing that I've been hearing this time from Africans is, from all sides actually, is pointing the finger and saying, oh, they're trying to act like us, they're trying to dress like us, they're jacking our style, our sound, they're trying to walk like me, talk like me, we just don't give up.
Why you niggas snitching on my ass like crazy? Niggas are snitching on my ass like crazy. Snitching on my ass like man. I have to disappoint my homeboys. Jay-Z, Snoopy Dogg, Drake, P. Diddy. They never wanted me to come back in the first place. But I told them no, I had to rebut it. Look what you are. You ask you who am I? Are you LAPD or NYPD? Are you alright? Huh? Are you alright? You ain't shit. You ain't no shit. LA Tilada! This smoke. New York City Tilada! This smoke. LA Tilada!
Question that I want to address, or controversy that I want to address, is the question of, why don't you claim your race?
I know black, I know black, I know black. Impossible, I know black. I'm Dominican, I'm Puerto Rican, I know black. Be looking just like me. Be having the same hair.
Why don't they address their race? I've seen this question being pointed towards certain people from the Caribbean, like Dominicans, for example, and also Africans, like specifically like Somalians, Ethiopians, that have been called out for saying that I'm not black. I'm just gonna jump right in, right? I want people to understand that when it comes to Somalians, Ethiopians, Dominicans, wherever you're from, they're aware of the color of their skin. But the thing is that in these other countries, in these other parts of the world, they are not focused on the concept of race. Because in most countries and in most parts of the world, the things that they're more focused on, that they more prioritize over anything else is what country are you from? What's your tribe? What tribe do you belong to? What's your ethnicity? These are the things that they focus on. What's your race? Like if you're to say to an Ethiopian person, like, what are you? What race are you? Huh? Man, what? What race are you? Like race. They wouldn't understand. If this was back home, they wouldn't understand. They say I'm Ethiopian, you know, I'm Hara, I'm Oromo. But if you're to say that, like, no, but race, like your color, I'd be like, well, I'm saying I'm Ethiopian. The color is implied. You know what I'm saying? Like anything else is implied.
And I think that's a big issue where people kind of get confused is that when you tell a Latino that you are black, sometimes the confusion comes in when usually you know that black is African American, Caucasian is white, and everything else, you're Latino. So you're like, no, I'm not black, I'm Latino. But it's stupid to have to explain my color because you can see it. I don't have to say I am black, you see it. So that's where the confusion comes in.
And you know what? It's a beautiful color.
So
beautiful.
I
love it.
I'm telling you, they don't care about race. They don't care about it. All they want to know is what tribe do you belong to? What's your ethnicity? When you introduce race, that's just another tool to be divisive about. And so that's those parts of the world. But there's gray areas, like there's South Africa. Right now, South Africa that's the exception because South Africa has been conditioned because of that they've been colonized, and a lot more recently, to have to focus on race, right? Like they literally categorize people by black, white, colored, Asian, Indian, I think, you know, something like that. And it's literally segregated. I don't know if it's legal anymore, but everything is just so recent right now. And honestly, not enough people talk about what's going on in South Africa. It's crazy. Like, shout out to my South African viewers. If there's any, like, I don't even know if it's gonna get past like 5 views, but we'll see. But I want to make a separate video about what's going on in South Africa because it's crazy. There's not a lot of people talking about it. In South Africa, if you're a mixed person, you have to categorize yourself as colored. And all of South Africa, like, it's pretty much segregated. They've had to, like, the colored people have their areas that they live in, black folks have the black South Africans have their areas that they live in, and then the white folks that live in, you know, majority of the time, the nicer areas, they live segregated as well. It's pretty crazy. That's why I think it's unfair that America treated Tyla like they did. Like, they're just kind of like, what race are you? Say it. Are you black or not?
School me on these debates that they be having about your identity as a South African colored person. What does that even mean?
Go ahead and take Tyla back. Take her back. You know, just make her Africa famous. You know what I'm saying? Go back to South Africa, be South Africa famous. You know, like I'm tired of hearing about her and like in American culture and music. I'm so over it. I'm over it.
I'm black, baby. I don't even play those types of games. And Tyla, not knowing her white supremacist conditioning that she has experienced in South Africa, is the reason why she disassociates from being called black.
It's like, how are you going to force her to put herself in a box? Especially when she comes from a world where she's not considered black. She's what America would consider black, you know, because of the one drop rule. But in Africa, she's considered colored. And that's what I'm saying. You're forcing people from other cultures to put themselves in a box. And a lot of people will push back and be like, no, I'm not doing it.
They never had a pretty girl from Joburg to me now, and that's what they prefer.
For example, I was born and raised in America, so I do acknowledge that I'm a black woman. I also understand that it's because I live in the Western world that I'm forced to, like, go by this cultural identity, being looked at as a color. But Nevertheless, I hope that gives you guys a little bit of insight why people might have that argument by not wanting to be considered a color, by wanting to be acknowledged by their ethnic backgrounds, but by their nationality, because that's always been more important to them. And honestly, I hope I gave you a little bit more of an understanding on everything on both sides, for Africans, for Americans, for Caribbeaners. I hope we have a little bit more understanding for one another by the end of this video. Please like, please subscribe, and if you're new to my channel, I appreciate you guys so much for being here, and I hope to see you guys again. Now, till next time, guys. Love you.